Greetings, you've landed at the VUC, IP Communications and VoIP community. We would like to thank Simwood.com for their support. Simwood can turn you as a developer into a telco. Our hosted PBX is from onsip.com, and you can go to getonsip.com for a URL people can click to call you. We've been privileged over the last 5 years to be using the best conference bridge on the planet. Yes, I'm talking about zipdx.com, full color, full featured, full HD conference bridge. Our website, vuc.me on the webs, hosted by bluehost.com. And our worldwide local rate dial-ins are from voxbone.com. All right. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day. This is VUC567 for November 13th, Friday the 13th, 2015, or 2015, as some people insist on saying. And today's call is about audio quality over the network, monitoring in real time. But with all the confusion, I did forget one little thing, and that is next week in Lisbon. Where's my clapping sound? The sound of one hand clapping and muted. November 17th, that's something like Tuesday. We were going to meet in Lisbon. If you're anywhere in the neighborhood, come on by. TAD Summit. These are great events. I love these events produced by Mr. Alan Quayle. And then December in Paris, December 12th, TAD Hack, WebRTC Paris. It's a mini TAD Hack. Thank you. Those applause were because I'll probably be playing, right? And we also have a surprised young lady who's going to, well, she's surprised, I'm not, who is going to sing with us. Anyway, enough of that. Let me try to find my camera because these days I'm running the whole thing. Michael's here, though, and as soon as Windows 10 updates, what time did that start, Michael? Can you tell us with your fingers? I don't know. Like, was it 5 a.m.? We're not hearing you.
Windows.
Yeah, Windows 10. Anyway, we're here today to talk with, I'm going to try to get this right. Let me put this back.
There we go. Now you should be able to hear me.
There we go. What time did your update start?
Started last night at 10 o'clock last night, but stalled, and then I started it again this morning at 8:30, and we'll get into this in the adult section. It's fine. 83%, still rocking. So.
Okay, 83%. It's been 83% for years.
Hey, stop padding. Get on with it.
All right, we're not padding. We're doing what we always do. A little. I was going to say chatter. I can't. Patter, pitter, patter, whatever. Anyway, today's call is about monitoring network audio quality in real time. As I said, we've got Valeri Sitnikov with us. Valeri, welcome to the call for the first time.
Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for this opportunity to talk about what we are doing for several years already, especially on this lovely Friday 13th night.
Exactly. Valeri, although I don't know you from before, apparently you are fairly well known by several of our core members, people that I've known for years. And so we're glad to have you with us and hope you'll come back and stay. That doesn't mean you have to go now, but I hope you'll become an active member of what we're doing here. We're going to ask you the question we always ask to people who come on for the first time, and that is, what brought you to technology in the first place? You know, you can even go back to when you were 5 years old and heard radar signals in your teeth or something. Whatever. What's your story?
I graduated at Telecom University in Russia, in St. Petersburg, 1997. Then had 2 PhD studies locally in my hometown, at home university, and then in Finland. And I worked in Finland in Helsinki University of Technology for several years. Then was doing some software development projects, many things, and also developing this Sevana business for quite a while. And for several years, I'm just running more or less with business partners and colleagues and friends this little business entity, and hope to proceed further, kind of popularizing and making the world better, or better quality.
Better quality, better audio quality on the network. And your company is Sevana, Sevana, and the URL for that company is Sevana, Sevana.biz, right?
Yeah, that's general URL. We're a registered company in Estonia, in Tallinn. We started in Finland, actually. We still have a company there, but just moved completely to Estonia for many reasons. And yes, the URL is that one, but .fi and .ee also work.
Okay. And you have several products and or services. You and I spoke before we got started over the last week or so. So we weren't really sure what you wanted to show here. Do you want to have a faraway look at all the things Sevana does, or do you want to concentrate on one thing?
Well, basically, my main goal of this meeting, or in this meeting, what I would like to do, something what we started doing 6 years ago or so, when we started developing technologies, not only products. We started developing technologies for audio quality analysis, and basically what we wanted to do was to bring inexpensive and expensive tools and technologies to a more wider use in voice over IP communities, in small business, small medium enterprises. So in principle, I would like to have this as a friendly conversation about quality, where I can show and demonstrate how we solve it, both with technologies, with products. We really have developed many things for intrusive and non-intrusive waveform analysis, for voice quality impairments detection, open source based voice quality monitoring system, many things. But I believe that the most important right now is how the quality impacts. There are so many service providers, suppliers, DID number providers, conference service providers, web conference service providers. Then we have so many networks: PSTN, GSM, UMTS, wide CDMA, voice over LTE, RCS networks, voice over Wi-Fi is coming. They all have issues, and basically my main message would be that even in voice over IP community, in voice over IP networks, it's not always possible to analyze quality and check quality, test quality, assess quality by using only voice over IP metrics. And this is what I would like to stress during this conversation, and also show as a benefit for the community from this. Yep, please go ahead. Michael, you were saying something.
No, I think there was just like a little glitch in there.
Okay. So basically, yes, as a benefit to voice over IP communities, small, medium enterprises, I would like to say some words about our products, services, and technologies. When I say technologies, I mean something what is really difficult to invent, develop, and that really has a lot of high-tech algorithms, mathematics, DSP.
Okay, you want to jump into a demo? You had some images you wanted to show maybe as well.
Yes, basically.
You want to do that first?
Yeah, let me share some images. Yeah, just a second. I will do my best. Okay. Do you see it now?
We
We
did.
did for a second, but I don't now.
Not now.
It popped up, but now it's gone.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's back again. We got
There it is. We
Okay.
have it now.
So basically, just like what I said, from various devices, soft phones, VoIP phones, PSTN mobile phones, through different carriers using different codecs, different delivery systems. Well, this particular picture is about drive test, but still in various networks we have all the same problems that due to many facts, many reasons, voice quality may be affected and we may lose customers. And okay, I don't want to be too much. Okay, this slide maybe very quickly that these days our clients at least want to be able to assess voice quality from all types of devices, server to server, laptop to server, mobile device to mobile device. Okay, there are technologies well recognized and recommended by ITU, International Telecommunications Unit, which are known as PSQ, POLQA, for active intrusive waveform analysis and voice quality evaluation. And we introduce our own technology as an alternative, which is alternative. It's very difficult to say whether it's better. It's different. It has different advantages, maybe disadvantages, but it can be used in a similar way. Then ITU also has a standard related to single-ended analysis, which is waveform analysis on real calls. With this type of analysis is less accurate, but we also have our technology that also, besides pure analysis, gives some ideas of the reasons for voice quality degradation, like impairments that took place. Can be graphically represented, bulk analysis, and what is more important here, like in any system, is ability to discover the reasons for voice quality degradation. And we figured out that, for example, amplitude clipping can be the reason for misconfiguration of a gateway somewhere on the voice path, and that clipping can be caused by the so-called squelch. We also figured out that there are patterns to even determine packet loss by waveform analysis. And this is pretty much it. I don't want to take more time on this. Just want to say that besides the metrics that one can receive by the so-called E-model, R factor generated, and MOS score generated by E-model, and MOS stands for mean opinion score. So theoretically, it's a group of people collected, then they listen to different audios and grade it from one, yes, well, this standard is a bit different, I believe.
Yeah, excuse me, I just was looking around I was going to ask you where to find this. I just did a quick search.
ITUT.int.
So, and I wanted to give, this happens to be PDF that was downloadable. But
yes.
Is this what we're talking about, the Q3911,
no.
Or is this something else?
We are talking about P.862, P.863, similar technology.
Okay, I'm at, I don't know how to find that, but what I found was itu.int, as you said, and then I'm not sure. Let me go to the, I'll go to the,
just put it.
It's kind of important, so I'm not wasting time. I'm trying to find.
You can
how
just
do you find this now?
Google it. Google it, P.862 ITU, and the first link will be there. Let me try it, and I think.
Well, I mean, that's what I did, and I came on the wrong thing. But here we go. All right, professional evaluation. Would that be it? Oops.
Yes, perceptual.
Problem is, their site is one of these government kind of sites, even though they're not. Anyway, enough of that. So point was to show people where they can get, where you sourced the things you're talking about, because that's important. This is not stuff that you made up. This is, these are actual international standards, and that's what's important.
That's wrong, actually, because
You made it up?
we made up an alternative.
Okay.
So that's the trick, because we made up our own algorithms. We made our own perceptual model. And these days it's already recognized. So to my knowledge, the only entity we are competing with is ITU standards.
Mm-hmm.
And basically we have taken a different approach, completely software-based, hardware independent, and with alternative technology.
Okay, so what we were doing is comparing, you know, I kind of jumped the gun and wanted to show those standards because you referred to them, but in fact you maybe used the idea of the basic parameters that they're talking about, and you've improved that and made it, adapted it to something that you're doing.
Well,
you made it up, you said.
Yeah, we made it up. We started research of 4 different scientists related to perceptual or human perception of audio. We merged this research and worked out a standalone algorithm and approach for analysis, which is just a yet another perceptual evaluation of speech. Saying we are better, well, I don't want to say this in public. We're not better. Maybe we're not very much worse. We're different. You know, like Finns are saying, if you start studying Finnish, a Finnish teacher will most likely say, Finnish language is not difficult. Although to me, for the first month, it sounded like noise. Finnish language is not difficult. It's just different.
Right.
So.
Right. Of course. Tim is asking. Tim, you could unmute and ask this, I guess, if it's not, if it's convenient. Otherwise, I'll read what he says. But then whenever I read a question, all right, here we go. Tim.
Yeah. You know, I was just curious to know whether the perception is dependent on the language your people are speaking. So, you know, you think about the languages where the tone is important and the pitch, and then you think about other languages maybe with more clicks, and Dutch with its hard G sound. It's like those sorts of things are language dependent. Did you manage to model that in your perceptual model, or did you just say, well, hey, you know, everyone speaks English?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Our technology, our algorithms are language independent. They can work from 8 kilohertz 16-bit mono up to 192 kilohertz 32-bit stereo audio, and they can work on long audio as well, longer than several minutes, several hours. We even tried to use brute force compression optimization. When you compress with certain bitrate an audio clip, a song, a podcast, and you analyze it with our tool, and then you see that, okay, the quality is getting worse, or you analyze it till you receive the quality you desire.
I feel the need for a practical demonstration here.
Yeah, I can share my screen and show you real system that is running real tests, even for some real customers.
We like real tests. In fact, is it feasible to do a real test on the ZipDX conference bridge, for example? I'm going to get into trouble from Michael for this, but...
Well, we'll be happy to work this out together. We don't need to make the results public, though.
I can see what I can do to help with that.
But then again, it'll probably show how brilliant the ZipDX conference bridge is in wideband using Opus codec.
That will be very interesting, really, because all
Good luck with the Opus part.
Of course, you don't officially support Opus, do you? Officially,
right?
Yeah, we'll be more than happy to copy. Let me share the whole screen, I guess.
Oh my gosh, that's me.
Yes. Okay. Can you see my
Yes,
screen?
yeah, that's nice and clear.
All right. This is our little system, very basic in demo mode. So alerting, test creation is not available here. It's purely based on open source. The only closed source is our Aqua technology. So as you can see,
Just out of interest, what is the platform sitting behind this web interface?
this is CentOS operating system, Apache, PHP, MySQL Server, Community Edition. And hardware, I really don't know, to be honest. It's hosted in a friendly company in Russia. So they were keen to cooperate, and we're very happy about this. So I can show you they host here test for one of their customers, which is running every minute.
Okay, and you have to talk us through exactly what this test is doing.
See, there are several types of tests one may like to have when evaluating voice quality. So a very typical the type of test is echo test. Like on Skype, you have echo 1, 2, 3 to dial in. You say something, it plays back to you, and you can hear, and you decide whether it's working or not, right? But if we were talking about voice quality, this is not enough. So we would like to know how good the quality is. So here is an example of an echo test in Czech Republic. We're dialing into their echo server. We're playing this reference audio. In the waveform, sometimes it's very important to see the waveform. I'll show you why. Then we record what we receive from the echo server. Here it is. We use our tool to calculate MOS score by waveform analysis, then some additional metrics like signal-to-noise ratio. And then this system also, besides asterisk, what it is based on, we're using asterisk to dial in, it's also using VoIP monitor to collect all the metrics used as a sniffer, calculate mean opinion score according to E-model, which you can see is 4.5, which means excellent. It checks packet loss, even packet loss burst when there are several packets lost in a row, and reports the saves everything in MySQL database. And I'll show you a little backdoor. Everything is stored in a log file. So we have big plans to apply data analysis for this to ease discovery of root cause of the problem. So how it works when things are not good, there is one connection which is producing not very good MOS scores, and this is actually an echo server, but we are dialing a PSTN number in Germany through Finland, actually. So you can see that the waveform of the received signal differs quite a lot. This is also reflected by the MOS score. We can see that signal-to-noise ratio is different. There is
so you've got lots of latency, and you're probably going through at least one transcode in that media path.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, we figured out by additional analysis by the tool that discovers different impairments like dead air, clicking, clipping, crackling, amplitude clipping, VAD clipping. We figured out that there is packet loss in this audio, although there is no packet loss between us and Finland and Germany. So there is really some transcoding happening, and there is somewhere VoIP network in the voice path. As you can see, packet burst actual packet burst detected somewhere on the way. This means several packets lost in a row. some spectrum analysis. I could play it, but you won't hear, I'm afraid. I can give it a try if you like.
Well, go on then. Well, can we listen to the original voice sound file, and then have a quick listen to what came back?
Oh, Randy, I think I have to ask you for this favor because audio.
Yeah, I can play the original, but obviously it's going to be deformed a little bit by the. Here's the original of. I don't know if these are all the same. I think this is the reference audio.
Yeah, the top one is the reference audio.
I'm not hearing it for some reason. What happened?
We're embarrassed because of the stains, but this one, no stains. Yeah, I think it's that oval thing that keeps everything in the middle. Yeah, it keeps it there so no stains. Yeah, no messy, icky feeling. Yeah, and you feel.
Oh.
God, what are they talking about?
Yeah, this is one of the reference audios that are freely available. Yeah, a little fun. Signalogic website has various audios, and we noticed that our clients are using it as reference. There is no license limitation on the Signalogic website, so we thought this is a great thing, so we can use it as well. There are different audios there, and getting back to the language question, there are audios in different languages which we used for testing to evaluate Morse score, and figured out that our algorithm is language independent.
Randy, can we have a quick listen to the deformed waveform? Just a very quick.
I'm not sure which one is that. What test are you on, Valeri?
Yeah, this is. Let me give you a direct link. Can you see the link?
Well, I'm on the page, so all you have to do is tell me which. Is it the second one?
It's the second one, yes.
So we saw this already, and here's. But wait a minute, I'm not seeing. I see the reference audio. Oh, and then the light bulb. No.
It's.
It's the echo.
Well,
no, okay. Let me say. Let me tell you.
Tell me where it is. I'll get to it right away.
Get to lead desk echo Germany.
On general tests.
It would help, Randy, if you share your screen, then we can see what you're looking at.
On tests.
I suppose that's a good point. Yeah. Just sorry about that. There we go. See, I'm here.
Yes.
Right?
It's third from the bottom. Lead desk echo Germany.
Got it.
Okay.
I still only see the reference though.
Yeah, this is reference. It's for the group of tests for this particular lead desk echo test Germany, right? Then tests are made every 5 minutes to this number. So you can see the timestamp for each test. You can see duration, post-dial delay, reason for call termination, Q931.
Yeah, so if you click on that second one, because that's a
okay. Why is red not recommend? So they're all pretty bad, right?
Yeah, they are quite bad.
The only good one, the orange, is some users just said. All right, so we'll click on the first one or the second one.
Pick one, anyone.
Well, it doesn't. It's not that it's the same. The second one looked like it was really bad. Oh, here then we have the references repeated. I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I've only seen this for the first time. Like.
So you got the reference at the top.
Let's do this again. I'll be quiet. Everybody will be quiet. I will set the level at the same. I'm going to play the reference for a moment, and then I'll play the degraded. Okay, here we go. Reference.
Tickets are embarrassed because of the stains, but this one, no stains. Yeah, I think it's that oval thing that keeps everything in the middle. Yeah, it keeps it there so no stains. Yeah, no messy, icky feeling. Yeah, and you feel clean.
Here's the degraded audio.
Tickets are embarrassed because of the stains, but this one, no stains. Yeah, I think it's that oval thing that keeps everything in the middle. Yeah, it keeps it there so no messy, icky feeling.
Sounds like James on his iPhone.
No, it doesn't. I don't sound anything like that at all.
No, you don't talk about that kind of thing anyway. So there it is. Anything else on the page that we should be looking at?
Yeah, well, it's now the analysis.
Oh, all right. So that was number 2. And then the analysis.
Down, you've got the analysis showing the MOS score, the signal-to-noise ratio, and all the other parameters that have come out of the analysis. See, I could sell this for you, couldn't I, Valeri?
You could.
Yeah, I look at this, and it's totally understandable for me. I could take this tool and I could use it straight away.
Yeah, we can give it to you. I mean, we even deliver it to most of our customers. We deliver it. Well, we change the policy, but for you, we can give it and install, and you can play with it. We'll be more than happy, and we are very eager to cooperate. It's not only, this world is not only about money making, although as a businessman, I should say this is an important part. But we really would like to spread this around. You don't have to buy a hardware box. You don't have to buy a server, and even you don't have to buy a technology. You see, if it's a monopoly, then you have to pay a lot of money. So our idea initially was to get into Asterisk community and kind of deliver this to Asterisk community, but somehow it didn't work out. I see Life. He was out for lunch, he says. Life Medicine, he was actually playing with Aqua, the tool that is comparing the audio, several years ago. So we would be more than happy. I have to be very accurate. I don't want to say anything bad about competitors because they're definitely good. They are all based on international standard. But I should tell you that our first customers and our biggest customers are in the United States. These days also Europeans are joining quite well. But the idea was that in the US, people were just very straightforward. Does your thing work? Let me try. It works. Okay, cool. I want to have it. In Europe, it was a little bit more accurate for several years, but now they are joining.
Well, I'm looking at this tool. It looks pretty straightforward. I think I could drive this straight away, and I think it would be a very useful tool to have in the tool chest of useful bits of kit. It looks very straightforward. So that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you want to very quickly tell us about how the business model for this works? Because that's always of interest to lots of people.
Well, as we own everything here, we are very flexible. Typically, see, we don't have any limitation for the system to make as many test calls as the client wants. However, Aqua tool has a limitation on the number of simultaneously running tests.
So what you're saying is it's a hosted test tool. So
no, you can have it in your system. If you are not going to have more than 50 simultaneously running tests every minute, that's a lot actually. That's a lot of data. Then you need just one server, and it will be making at least 3 types of tests. We have another test, DID availability, but straightforward, 3 types of tests. Conference bridge testing, very simple. Call into the conference bridge as master, enter pin number, wait, stand by. Call to the conference bridge as slave, start playing reference audio. Master records, then the call ends, we make the compare, we make the test, save all the metrics, both waveform analysis and void metrics. And as it's a fully end-to-end testing, imagine you can be calling conference bridge as master on the US number and as slave on number in Germany, for example. Then echo server test, the same. It can be a SIP number, it can be PSTN number, like those you saw. And then finally, if you like to test your DID provider, you might like to make calls to arbitrary numbers all over the world. And then it's a problem, but we have solved it. You can call IVR systems in different countries. For example, hotels, embassies, other IVR systems, absolutely independent. So you will be calling, recording the audio as reference, considering it's a good quality, and then you can monitor it on a regular basis.
Yeah, Valerie, I have to say that's the first time I've heard anybody who's not me talk about phoning embassies. It's one of my old test tricks is to phone the British Embassy in multiple countries because they have their standard voice menu system, an IVR, in each British embassy, and so you can use that as a test tool. And you're the first person I've heard who mentions exactly the same trick.
I don't think it's my idea. I think I heard it from somebody else, but it was a couple of years ago, so it's almost already mine.
Okay, but I suppose you use the Russian embassy or the Estonian embassy or something, or the Finnish embassy.
Well, I heard of it. I don't. We are using for tests. Let me share the screen.
But now everybody knows that. And so the poor old British Embassy is going to get non-stop barrage of test calls now, and it's all going to be my fault. I'm going to get the blame for this.
Well, you can say it was Valerie from Russia, you know.
Yeah, but
we are using as examples. We are using IVR test 3411. That is quite widely presented in VoIP on VoIP websites. And there is one IVR in Russia, actually, IVR test.
What we ought to do, Valerie, is get our heads together and trade test numbers, because I've got a long list. There's some really useful ones.
You know, I can show you one technology that was our technology that was implemented. We shared it with one consultant from Switzerland. Unfortunately, probably you know him, Stanislav Sinyagin, but he's not with us right now. I prepared this. What he made, this is non-intrusive, single-ended analysis. You don't have to make test call, but here there is a bunch of test numbers you can call. The audio is recorded, then PVQA analysis is used, different impairments. We have a wider list of impairments, but these are enough for a fair MOS calculation, non-intrusively. So you get the analysis, you get results of the analysis, you can see what impairments were happening. So, for example, here it was quite noisy, some dead air appeared. This is quite interesting. We have a client in the United States that was capable of discovering transcoding patterns when transcoding audio clips for further transmission in VoIP network. They were transcoding them, and there was a pattern just because of transcoding. Or if there was one mobile client that discovered misconfiguration of a gateway just because amplitude clipping was detected. So these are quite interesting things. And there are some test numbers here you can call. And well, we don't have. I would love to trade test numbers with you, but we don't have that many. We'll be happy to provide those we know. We were also thinking, you know, there is a website, Check My Roots. We have nothing to do with it, but we were thinking that it would be good to have a similar service, waveform analysis based.
My group, I'm not sure if you're familiar with us, but we do work on the buffer bloat issue primarily. But my group has been ramping up testing of voice over IP and video conferencing in the recent weeks. So having a automated tool or an automated way of analyzing the kind of abuse we put our networks through would be nice to have.
That's great. One test scenario is when you're deploying voice over IP to a client, for example. So you're connected to certain ISP. So you can put the system running for a week, for example, and it will be collecting data, collecting MOS scores, collecting VoIP metrics. Then you can access it remotely, right? You can see how the tests are doing. You can have alerts. Alerts are email alerts and SNMP traps. So you can be alerted if MOS score drops down. So you can evaluate overall voice quality, also in time. For example, here, this test, do you see my screen? I guess so.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was because in between I switched something. We see it now.
Yeah. So you see, some tests were quite good here, and here also. During some time, the tests are quite good. So you can even determine if somebody starts playing games during lunch break, bandwidth goes down, and the sales team starts screaming, and this happens on a regular basis. So this will be reflected within the timestamp. And it's all stored in MySQL database, so all kind of reports. We'll be adding here reports on MOS score, how it spreads around, among the different values. But like I said, it's a very simple tool. It can be running as a probe. I used to run it on laptop, but I don't know if now it's heavier, but should be all right. One thing, I would like to fill in the pause here because this is what one receives as pure Aqua analysis. This kind of report can be received and I would like to show you how it's done with web service. If you need access to it, just let me know, play around. Well, here are default parameters. We start figuring out when it comes to wideband audio, HD audio, these default parameters may not always work. But here, I'm selecting the same reference audio, English female, and simulated English female 10% packet loss. And I get Aqua report, MOS score 329, quite reasonable. This is not R factor, this is percentage of audio similarity, so you can rely on that. It's very configurable with parameters. We can really adjust MOS score to actual network conditions. Why I'm saying this, with this particular test, we had higher scores, and we sent several files to one of our clients that has other licenses for voice quality analysis, waveform analysis, and the score was lower. But we considered that it's just not right. And our client was saying that, look, if this score is so good, basically we are using G7 711 codec. If the quality is good, it should be 4.1. And we configured it. We figured out that 4 point something is much more feasible than other score. And basically, you can see when it drops down, let's say, let's take this one, 4 point something, very good quality. I won't play it. You can see by the waveform that it's quite good. And by the way, these audio files are stored. So if you need to talk to your service provider, you have the evidence that at a certain time the quality was bad and actually the audio was degraded. So here the quality is quite good. Still, we had some packet burst, we had some delay, but when it drops down, we have all the metrics, MOS score, waveform analysis drop down, and then spectrum analysis. Well, that's quite interesting because I was thinking that here will be packet burst. And another important thing I would like to stress is that this is MOS score calculated according to E-model, and it's 4.5. So basically, even in pure VoIP communication, E-model not necessarily can give adequate results. To finish this demonstration, I would like to compare now the reference with 40% packet loss and see what happens. We get 2.09, and you can see how significantly the audio spectrum has degraded, and some Aqua metrics together with signal-to-noise ratio. this is fine. Just to finish the demonstration, to say everything I would like to say. This is fine when you can make a test, when you can make a test call. But sometimes you cannot, and you may be not able to introduce additional load to your network, or you don't want to, or you just have to monitor quality of real calls. Well, depending on the country, legislation, at least on a temporary basis, you can always record real calls, at least 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and destroy the recording afterwards. So you can supply, well, okay, let's supply reference audio, which should have pure, no degradation. Okay, so we can see it's MOS 3.5. Actually, non-intrusive analysis is always less accurate. 3.5 is highest for this configuration, and we can see that there is some degradation in the end. There is dead air and clicking yellow, but still not much. Then we supply 10% packet loss, and we have more, and the MOS score is 289, still reasonably good. We detected and where the degradation occurred. I can show you, everything is written in a CSV file, right? So now,
the scale down the bottom that's time.
Yes, that's time. Yes.
So you can see at different points in the call where the different types of degradation occurred.
Absolutely, yes. And besides this, there is bulk impairments analysis, where you can receive a CSV file with just, okay, let me take with more degradation so we see more of them. You can see all degradations that took place. See, the blue one is signal to noise ratio. So it's reasonably high somewhere, then it drops down. The red one is dead air type 01. We are detecting two types of dead air, and it's also configurable. But like I was showing on the presentation, when it's red and yellow, it's 90% probability that packet loss took place there. And let me show you how it looks like in the log file. Here is the log file. Every 10 milliseconds, we're able to detect a presence of an impairment. Signal to noise ratio. Here, it's just not enough information for detectors. And there it comes, okay, number one appeared here. This is dead air 01, very likely packet loss occurred. This just bulk analysis within a 10 millisecond step you can do on any audio.
Okay, quick question. How long did it take to build up that model to allow you to then do the detection? Is that about 10 milliseconds? So that's about, what, 250 milliseconds preamble?
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Get back and
yes.
See. No, it's 350 milliseconds.
Yes.
So that's not bad. So after 350 milliseconds, you built your model, and you're then analyzing it. Bearing in mind, this is on live traffic. This is not your pre-prepared, echoed test sequence, is it?
Yeah, correctly. This is live traffic.
Yeah, that's useful. That's clever. Particularly useful for people who do tend to proxy the media, as we do. I've got a slightly different. I'm going to stop you and throw you in a slightly different direction, Valeri, because I'm that kind of guy. Your test platform is based upon Asterisk. Does this mean that that imposes some constraints on the wideband codecs that are available to test with? So, in particular, I'm thinking of Opus.
Yes.
Valeri, you need to stop your screen share when
yes,
you're talking
sorry.
so we can see
sorry,
you.
I forgot. Yeah.
I'm reminding you.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, we are asked once in a while, what codecs does your system support, or what codecs does your technology support? The system is asterisk based. Whatever codec asterisk supports, the same codec supports our technology and our system.
So there could be some issues if you're trying to analyze the performance of a free switch based system, for example, and in free switch we know that the range of codecs supported is a bit wider.
In fact, Stanislav, he actually integrated Aqua into free switch. So you can contact him on his experience on this. And we have a client in the United States. He did it for that client.
So Stanislav, just remind us who Stanislav is.
Stanislav Siniagin, this is VUC567.ch,
yeah.
a consultant in Switzerland.
Okay.
He's also a long-time member of the community, by the way.
Yeah, Stanislav is clearly a good Swiss traditional name, isn't it?
Yes, amazingly, just like Valeri is a typical Scandinavian one, right?
Yeah, typical Finnish.
Typical Finnish or Estonian.
Yeah.
But I admire Estonia. Just side words a little bit out of the topic, because really I was very surprised when in police, where I had to go to, for residence things and other things. Can you imagine in a foreign country, European country, I can see 3 languages I can receive service in, and it's Estonian, English, and Russian.
Yeah, well, I love Estonia. Every time I go there, it's amazing. I don't know what the percentage of the disposable income is spent on personal appearance, but it's quite high. They're very, very smart people, and smart physically, and smart from an intelligence point of view. I love it.
Drift.
Yeah, I know, but I just love it.
We only just have a few minutes left, and Tim had a question, and I don't know if Tim is still with us even. He's there in virtually.
He needs to.
No, I'm moving. I'm really am here.
Okay.
Yeah. No. So I was wondering whether your tool, Valerie, can detect a thing I'm seeing quite a lot on VoIP networks in particular, which is clock skew. So you get one end, you get a cheap PC being used in a call center that's actually generating the audio a couple of % fast, because that's what the clock on the audio driver is running at. And by the time that hits the PSTN, the packets pile up and then they drop, and there's this kind of, you get this weird effects that are actually quite hard to trace quite often. So I wondered if your tool can spot that.
Don't you?
Well, or if it's running slow, then what happens is you run out every now and then, and it looks like packet loss, but it kind of almost isn't, because there weren't packets there in the first place.
I think we can find a pattern that is typical. If you have these audio recordings, or you can provide me with them, I think we can find a pattern, because those tests with bad quality that sounded like packet loss, they don't have a typical packet loss pattern.
Okay. So you're saying if you can have a few samples, you can probably characterize them and then identify them.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That sounds like a good thing to do, Tim. That's a really good question, Tim.
Excellent, yeah. I think we're going to need to end. Maybe have time for one more question before we... I'm
enjoying this. I like this tool.
It's terrific.
I think it's really useful. I want to have this in my toolkit.
I did an email intro to all of you, because I think each one of you has something to gain by knowing each other, so that's great. This is really what we do here. This is my favorite thing about the VUC. That call I put out about the German ITSP, that's part of it. I mean, somebody asks a question in the community, and Stanislav's, I don't know if he introduced you to us or us to you, but he was part of that whole process too, Valerie.
That's correct. He did.
So this is excellent, and I'm sorry to cut it short. We generally do not have any reason to cut things short, but here we have a call starting with Dave, and Dave is with us So we need to end this call. For those of you listening on ZipDX, the call will continue with Dave, Todd, and whoever else wants to join that. And you'll have to watch. Gosh, where can I post this? I guess I'll post it on Google Plus, maybe Twitter, when we start this new call. So, Dave, you, like everybody else, will have to. This is the ejection seat, and the call will begin again in about 3 to 5 minutes. Valerie, I just want to. You go ahead, Dave.
And I say thanks to Valerie. I didn't mean to cut in on you so much, and I would like to try out your tool myself when I get some time.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you for your interest. It's a great pleasure having this chance to present everything. And just contact me, and we'll arrange you to have the tool.
Okay, and you guys all have each other's email addresses. James, I sent it to your
Yeah, got it.
pro address. Okay.
Yeah, I've got it.
And Tim, I sent you one just in case as well. Again, Valerie, thank you very much. So it's Sevana. What's the best site? You said there's several. Is the .biz the best?
.biz.
Savannah.biz.
Yes.
Sevana.biz to go check that out. And we'll be hearing from Valerie because he's now a valued member of the community, right? So you'll be coming back.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Valerie, and thanks to everybody.
Thanks a lot, everybody. See you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody. We'll be starting again. Let's see. Yeah, I've got time. I'll leave the audio up on VUC.audio and ZipDX, but we need to clear the Hangout to move on. So later.